to Show and Tell podcast with On Lay. Show and Tell is a student short film on a Native American boy who borrows his best friend's toys to get along with his classmates because he is being bullied for his Cree heritage. Follow our journey through filmmaking and dig into deep truths of Native American culture and history on social media. This short film is in partnership with Spirit Mountain Roasting Company, who believe in sharing Kachan roots through each delicious sip of roasted coffee. Today, I have a very special guest, Tudor Montague. Let's bring him on. Hello, Tudor. How are you?
Hey, good morning, An. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Well, every day's a holiday. Thank you for allowing, yeah, thank you for allowing our team to interview with you today. We would like to hear a little bit about your background and what made you interested in creating your own coffee company.
Yeah. First, I wanted to just thank you for, allowing me to help participate in this project. I think it's really important, to get the message out and share some of these things with the broader audience. So again, I appreciate being a part of this. um, yeah. So my name is Tudor Arequipa Montague, and I'm an enrolled member of the Fort Yuma Quetzal Nation in Winter Haven, California, where my reservation is straddles the California, Arizona, right on the border at the bottom part. If you look on a map of the Colorado River, so we're a river culture. Um, and yeah, I was raised here in my community. Went to high school here, and then left my community when I went to college in Kansas. Um, Went to an all Indian college, and then worked on a 4 year degree at the University of Kansas, and then was able to start a career in the environmental field, which I did for just about 15 years working for tribal nations in Arizona. During that time, I kind of had the formulation of what I wanted to do business wise, and was lucky enough to go down this path of coffee roasting and started my small business. I was in the Phoenix Valley when I was still working for the tribes, and then a couple of years ago made the decision to come back to my community here on the reservation and locate the business here with the intent of growing it on the reservation to, ultimately provide some economic opportunity for some of the community members and just go from there.
How did you learn about your Kachan customs, and what made you interested in learning about your Kachan culture?
It's I think it was just by virtue of being raised here on the reservation, early on, from as far back as I can remember, we were exposed to our traditional customs, our bird song, bird singing, some of the customs that happen throughout the year, hearing the language spoken. So it was always just a part of our existence. So I didn't necessarily need to search it out. It was here for me to experience as I grew up. So cultural immersion, I guess, is the way you can put it.
If you could please share with us what are the challenges that you face being a Native American when maybe you're outside of the reservation or while you pursue your education.
Yeah. There's I assume it's a similar experience to other communities of color with respect to stereotypes and misappropriation of culture. A lot of times, folks in outside of my culture, my community, a dominant society, they may have stereotypes um, that they carry with them, whether it's knowingly or unconsciously, that affect their ways of interacting with us. I've been directly affected by it. Once I left the community, I remember one time in specific, I was going to a store to shop, and it was the area that I was in. I guess immediately all eyes were on me, and somebody followed me throughout the store until I finished doing my shopping. So, it's something that's common to minority cultures. I think it's just stereotypes clouding people's understanding, um, lack of knowledge, um, things of that nature. It's just something you face continually, and that hadn't changed since that first time until you know not too long ago. You still see it happening. So many ways it impacts us, but it's just a matter of trying to educate people when you are given the opportunity about your community or your culture, in hopes that they'll understand a little differently, or pay a little more attention, and treat people a little more fairly because of that.
What makes you proud to be a representative of the Kachan culture?
It's a good question. And there's a few things that come to mind, but I guess one to start with is just the fact that I am here, um, existing, and hopefully being successful within my community. After everything is said and done, I'm here doing something positive for my community, and hopefully become something larger, to that way I can impact my community even more so than I am now. But just the very fact of being here, doing what I love, something I can be proud of here on my community.
Do you sometimes feel as though you live in two worlds?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that, God, that's been something that's been a part of my existence since I left the community to go to college. When I had a job working for tribes, we'd often have to meet and engage with federal, state, municipality representatives, and yeah, absolutely. It's a vastly different world between interactions from folks within my community or on the reservations I was working from, versus the people you have to sit down with across the table, that are non-native. It's just two totally different ways of conducting business, and being able to switch in between them. You have to be able to do that. So yeah, there is definitely a two world aspect to that. Yep.
What are the things you enjoy doing in your free time?
Yeah. So yeah, really, I guess part of my upbringing was we always were camping or outdoors when I was young. So any chance I get, being outdoors, I do a lot of gardening at home. Some of our traditional crops, I plant that. So gardening, camping, hiking, just in general, when the weather's nice enough, get outdoors and enjoy it.
Now that the times have been changing due to COVID-19 and racial inequality and such, to you, what does it mean to be a Native American today?
Hmm, there's a lot of ways we can go with that one too. But the first thing that's coming to mind immediately is resilient. You know, um, Again, the fact that we're standing here after over 5 centuries of direct attempts to erase us as a culture. Um, Everything that's been done, we're still here doing what we do, walking alongside you. Being creative, creating things, preserving tradition, sharing that when it's appropriate. It's to me, it means it's an opportunity for us to share, to those who listen, share our worldview and perspective that I think is needed more now than ever. I think if we can do that effectively and loud enough, we can hopefully influence those that are in positions of power. And little by little, there are more Native people that are actually stepping into those roles. And with that, being able to share again our perspective and our worldview, which is often totally opposite of what dominant society has been pursuing up until now. It's more of viewing our place in this world as a part of the world around us, not above it, or above it to be used to, for certain benefits, but understanding that we are a part of it, and what we do affects, we affect one thing, it affects everything. I think that perspective we as Native people carry can be shared, and I think it can really benefit society if enough people are listening and are aware.
If there's One thing you would share with children who are struggling with cultural acceptance in their schools and outside of the education system, what would it be and why would you be sharing this particular lesson?
Another good question. I've faced that myself when I was young and, elementary, Head Start. I would just say to the young ones, be proud of who you are, regardless of, what, if you hear negative things, I know it's hard when you're young, but truly don't pay it too much mind. Look inside yourself, look to your parents or your elders, and try to understand how important you are, how important your culture is. It's so unique and so special. Don't shy away from it. Embrace it. Carry it with you. It's gonna be something that's gonna benefit you in the future, now and in the future. So, regardless of where you're at, be proud of who you are.
Thank you very much for sharing us that lesson for our children. I think they will learn a lot from your experiences and help them persevere with the struggles that they face in school and the differences that they embrace within their culture. So that particularly ends our podcast interview for today. Tudor, thank you once again for providing us the time to speak with you about your experiences and the life lessons you are sharing with the children of today.
It was a pleasure to share with you on, and again, I appreciate what you're doing, and look forward to the film and the good things that it can help spread. So, thank you.
To the show and tell community, if you're interested in learning more about our film, please like our Facebook at facebook.com/showandtellshortfilm2020 or join our mailing list in our website's contact page where you will receive immediate updates about the journey of our film. Do check out and support Spirit Mountain Roasting Company, where each cup of coffee they tend it with love and delicious quality. Have a wonderful weekend.